So, it's done. I did it. I did it, guys. I'm all done. I did it. So, it is, technically, Thanksgiving, 11/27, November 27. It is 1:05 in the morning, and as of approximately midnight, I finished my story. So book 1 is complete. Of course, it's not the end of the story, because as I told you before, it was going to be super long. It's probably going to be 2 to 4 books, I'm guessing. But number 1 is wrapped up nicely. It's done. It's ready. So for a while there, I think I was dragging my feet on purpose. Actually, I feel like maybe subconsciously I was scared to be done. I know that sounds like weird, but being done means a host of all kinds of scary things. Number 1, I finally just finished my first novel. Number 2, now that it's done, I have to think about the whole publishing thing, and that's terrifying in and of itself. And if I never finished it, I'd never have to worry about that, huh? And then number 3, now I'm like, what do I do with myself? And finally 4, of course, now ahead of me, I've got fucking sequels out the ass that I have to write. At least 1, maybe up to 3 sequels for this thing. So, the work, it's kind of like you just finished 1 lap in the Indy 500. So, yeah, that's going to be a challenge. Now that it is finished, of course, there's a process to be involved. So, I don't know what the knowledge level of the people who are even following this blog of what happens next, but basically, before one would ever approach an agent or publish in general, even if you're self-publishing, you should never submit a manuscript that is not ready. So, my next step in the saga of Achillea is to edit. And edit a lot. Whenever I've written fan fiction, the first chapter usually gets through at least 10 revisions. Because what I do is I write a little bit and go back and edit, write a little bit more and go back and edit and write a little bit more until I get to the end. So by the time I'm done, that first chapter has been edited at least 10 times. The last chapter usually goes through 3 to 5 before I put it out there. This, of course, is a massive undertaking. For the record, the story is 185,960 words in 493 pages and 50 chapters. Editing is going to change that. I know that there's things that need to be inserted, and I know there's things that need to be taken out. I'm guessing the things that need to be taken out, I probably can delete 10 to 30,000 words at most. Things that are going to be added are going to be 25 to 50,000 words. So at the end of this, I'm going to end up with a larger story than what I started with, but it'll be a better one. Oh, where was my train of thought going with that? Alright, so the process. I have to edit it. I have to edit the shit out of it, because I want to make sure that the whole story is cohesive and does what I need it to do. Every tiny little hint that I've thrown in there needs to come to fruition by the end. Every side plot needs to be wrapped up, unless I was planning on wrapping it up in book 2, but if I was going to do that, I gotta at least leave you not completely confused in a bad way. Go away, dog. Go. Go, go, go. My dogs, every time I do a video, they freak out. I swear. Okay, so after I edit it and make sure that the story is what I believe it should be, it's going to be as perfect as I believe that it could be. And of course, it's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be what I think is perfect. Then I have to send it through friends that I trust. This is very important. You don't want to send it through friends that you don't know personally or don't know well enough to share it. Because now I have nearly 200,000 words of my own hard work that I've now spent since March is when the story has been cooking up. The past month, I've added over 130,000 words, but we're talking like a month of serious effort and work. You don't want to give that to just anybody. They could steal it. You might think you know somebody, they might still steal it. Hey, whether or not you think you're any good, this is your chance at money, and they might just take it. So, my beta team is as follows. Phase 1. My friend Jory, she's in the Dead Pete Society, who I've talked about several times now. My friend Jory is perpetually confused about things, self-admitted. So basically she's my test run. If she's confused, I want to iron out the confusion. I don't necessarily want a story that's so easy that an idiot could follow, but I at least don't want it to be confusing, and she will help me pinpoint what's even slightly confusing. So she will help me hammer that out. So by the time I'm done with Joy, I'll have a plot the way that I want it that's not confusing. Step 2 is Rachel. Rachel's another personal friend of mine. Actually, she went to school with Joy. All of us went to the same college. Rachel is a teacher. Rachel, her favorite story is The Lord of the Rings. And I think her degree is in English. So she is my intermediate step up. She's very familiar with the genre. She's very familiar with fiction in general. So she's basically going to tell me whether or not my plot's dead end on accident, if I'm missing a side plot that needs to be in there, that kind of thing. Just a general step-up knowledge. By the time I'm done with Rachel, I'm hoping that my feelings are ready to be destroyed. Because after that, I'm sending it on to Robin and Stella, who I've talked about before. Robin is not a stranger to revisions, and she is also not going to mince words with me. I love her to death. She loves me too, but she's going to be honest with me, and I need that. She's already basically promised to hurt my feelings, and I've already promised to allow my feelings to be heard and get over it. Stella is more familiar, I think, with the publishing through an agent process, and I also don't know her personally, but well enough to trust her, I think. Her and I are like dark literature soulmates. I really would not think that she would screw me over. I hope not. I've also talked with her about doing this before. So she is planning to be about as harsh as Robin, but she also has the benefit of not knowing me personally, so I feel like she would be even less apt to spare my feelings than Robin would. By the time I get through Stella and Robin, I should be pretty well scrubbed inside out with my heart and my brain of completely being destroyed about my own novel and thinking that I'm a complete and utter worthless piece of shit. And if it gets through all of them and they still say, go ahead and go for it, I should be ready. That said, I have the agent in mind. Today I went and bought one of the books of one of the writers that said agent represents. I'm trying to familiarize myself with my dream agent so that I'm ready to approach that person. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do with this video is, what do I do now? Like right this second right now, because I'm not ready to go to bed. I know I look tired, I am tired. I'm not ready to go to bed. Look, dogs, hey. Look, it is 1 o'clock in the morning, we're not doing this shit now. Lay down. Sorry. I didn't know what to do right now. I actually had an idea for a standalone novel today. It's a young adult book. And it's sort of a touch of whimsy thing. I don't want to talk about it, because I might not ever write it. But today, I really like the idea, and I want to write it. Also, I clearly have a bunch of editing ahead of me. At the same time, I just got done with a nearly 200,000 word novel, like just now. Maybe I should just sleep, or watch a movie, or play Pokemon. Oh, you know, actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. So, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out, and I haven't gotten to play it, because it's November, and I've been writing, and I'm like, I can't wait till December I can play Pokemon. I'm going to play Pokemon. That sounds like a great idea. So, this is the video that that is me telling you that I've finished my first novel. Give me a comment. I deserve one. That's it. Author out. Comment.